For clicking on this video. This is iSith Kills, otherwise known as Nick, and I'm here again with my brother, and this is going to be episode 3, Two Brothers Talking Movies. And today we're going to be talking about the movie Warrior. And this movie is actually an old movie, older anyways, 2011, so it's about 11 years old. But yeah, we're going to talk about it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. It's going to be a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to click off, but I suggest watching it. So, what do you think about the movie, Chris?
I absolutely love it. It's a classic.
Yeah,
A story of redemption, family. You know how that is. Two brothers, missing each other, loving each other, don't know how to express it to each other. Haven't seen each other for years, right? I like that.
yeah. I mean, it's realistic to what actually happens too. Like, so it resonates with a lot of real life situations. Families splitting apart. And losing connection and then kind of reconnecting later on in life. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those movies that you don't get too much. Especially today, which you know.
Do you believe that movie was like, I think 11 years ago?
Yeah, 11 years ago,
Oh,
2011.
I can't believe that.
Which Tom Hardy, I think at that time he wasn't, you know, hot and heavy in Hollywood yet. I think he's
No, he
probably
just came up. I think he just came off success from Inception.
yeah,
And
yeah. And Joel
then he landed.
Egerton,
Mhm.
Nick Nolte, Frank Grillo,
Oh
and I
yeah.
love Kevin Dunn too, the guy that played the principal. That guy's cool. He's been in a
I
lot of
mean, he's the
movies.
dad from Transformers, bro.
Well, yeah, I know he's been in a lot of movies. I love that
And I like his actor too. He's a good
guy.
actor.
Yeah, he's
Frank
funny.
Grillo, man, he's a real fighter, right? And he has his own show on Netflix too.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know what shows he have on Netflix.
I don't know the name of it, but it's a boxing show. But he's
Uh,
like a trainer.
well, supposedly he's like a real MMA fighter too.
Yeah, yeah, he's a real trainer, MMA fighter. Yeah, you can totally tell.
He's got that persona for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, Tom Hardy, he seems like he knows some things as well. I don't know if he's actually a martial artist, but
Yeah, I mean, even
um
the other guy, Brandon Joel Egerton, is that Joel Egerton, I believe.
yeah, Joel Egerton. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was in
yeah.
the
And
the Thing
funny is,
2011, I
funny
think
is that
too.
they kind of look alike.
Yeah, they could pass as brothers. I think well, Joel, I think he's actually an American and Tom Hardy obviously British, but yeah, definitely could see some of that Bane in him in this movie because he was pretty built. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. The story, what picked off with Tom Hardy's character, and um, did it start off with showing that war, like in the first start of the movie, like him kind of breaking?
No, I think it showed the city, and that song came on that from that one band. I love that song. Now I need to find the name.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I think it just showed the bird. Pittsburgh. That's what they call it, the bird. And then
he's in the gym, right? Like he gets. Does it go right to the gym, or does it have some
no,
backstory?
nah, I think they just showed like the city, and then like play this song in the background. Shows the Nick Nolte coming out of the church, right? And then you see him leaving church. He gets in his car, and he pulls up at his house, and he notices his son Tom Hardy, which is Tommy.
Yeah,
In the movie,
yeah.
and it just basically rekindles after 14 years, I think. Right?
Mm. I think I
You
remember
know.
watching this movie with Dad too, but
Oh, good.
I think so. I think we did. I think before he passed, like
Hmm.
probably like maybe a couple of years before. But I remember
Oh, okay.
him liking it. But Dad, he didn't like rewatching movies. He just like watching it one time, and
Well, that was weird. I mean, growing up as a kid, he liked to watch movies all the time. That's why
I
I
know
do.
he loved rewatching movies. But like towards like the end, like he only like watching movies just once, and then that's it. Like he didn't like rewatching. He didn't like watching like Con Air, Face Off. Like if it was on TV and he was just flipping through the channels and he was like cooking or
Hmm?
something, he'll leave it on. But like if we were actually gonna watch a movie, he never wanted to watch anything that we've seen before.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy,
Oh,
right?
that's another story. That's
Yeah,
another
that's
video.
that's yeah, that's pretty crazy
I'm gonna
because
blow it
he
away. You
changed.
just told everybody shit about that. I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Good job, Nick.
Well, hey, I mean that's how he was because he wasn't like that ever. He just started being like that towards the last. Well, actually, since I lived there.
No,
But I don't know
yeah, man.
Nick Nolte's character. Like obviously, I don't know. For
Oh
me,
yeah.
and I'm sure for my brother, Nick Nolte's character reminds us a lot of Dad. That
Oh,
he made a lot of mistakes, and then obviously later on, he tried his best to amend for him, and I think he did. He did it in a lot of ways, and that just that relationship. I mean, you felt the actor's emotions, you felt the pain. Like it wasn't just like
no,
you
yeah.
know,
From the moment Tommy walked in the house, remember when Tommy walked in the house when Nick Nolte, invited him in, he
uh,
starts looking at the pictures. He starts looking at all this. And he says, "Oh wow, look at you! You found God. Great, you know."
uh,
And then he's, I remember mom calling out for God a lot of nights, indicating that she was hit, or abused or some form of, abuse. But yeah,
yeah,
man. Yeah, so it hits you heavy in the beginning, and then we go, oh, this is where this is going, but you don't know. I mean, the title Warrior gives it away, but you don't really know what's really going on.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, you didn't know where it was leading either. Like, I mean, you see the movie poster that you could tell, but like,
Hmm.
watching the movie, you didn't really know that him and his brother will kind of eventually fight. I guess it kind of could tell, but like, it's not that obvious. Like, they weren't hyping that up at all. It was more the story between Joel Egerton's wife and him and his family, and the
Hmm.
relationship between Tom Hardy and his dad. Them actually having time alone, which they never really got since he was a kid, and just that back and forth. I mean, like Tom Hardy's character was kind of pushing away Nick Nolte, not really forgiving him from what he did. He just kind of, you know, because he was in the military, he just wanted to talk to him vet to vet instead of father to son. Like he just thought of him as another war hero, or not war hero, but a former vet that served, and that's kind of like how he wanted to keep the relationship. And then later, it kind of turned into that trainer, apprenticeship, relationship, and then eventually back to father and son, which I thought
Oh
was
yeah.
beautiful. Like it was kind of like baby steps into forgiveness. Kind of Nick Nolte kind of had to prove himself, and in the form of the movie, he showed, Nick Nolte anyway, showed how emotional, he was like about it. Especially that the one scene in the hotel when
Oh
he
yeah.
he took his first drink after, I don't know how many, if it was years or if,
1,000 days.
yeah, so like well, was that 3 years
Years.
almost.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that was a strong scene because that brought back a lot of memories.
No, yeah.
Just I don't know. It was it was
The moment Tom
surreal.
Hardy got on the bed and brought Dad back up, you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, remember that?
Yeah, I mean you just saw the love, and that I don't know.
No,
Like
he loved it. Hmm.
like even though whatever happened in the past, and they weren't really elaborate how bad Nick Nolte was, but he kind of felt like it was pretty bad. But even after all that, and obviously there was some pushback, but at the end, Tom Hardy loved his father, you
Yeah.
know. And that was like the emotional part. I mean, there's so many emotional things, and then the relationship between Tom Hardy and Joel Egerton, the whole brother, then kind of just like you never were there for me, that kind of thing. And then like ultimately, I didn't know, information like you didn't tell me, and it was just like overall a misunderstanding. And
Yeah.
that happens a lot. That happened to me and you a lot of times.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it just kind of, when you see realism in movie and when it's like portrayed the way it is with the actors. And by the way, Jennifer Morrison, the girl from House, wow, she's amazing. But
Yeah, she was in a what do you call that movie? Was it the Disney show? Was it Once Upon a Time or something like that?
she was in that. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, she's
I haven't seen her in anything in for a long time.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
that main character in that show. She's the one that broke the spell or something, or realized there's a spell in the town,
it was like a witch show or something.
something like that.
Hmm.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think I don't know. Like every actor in this movie, like stepped it up some reason. Like I've seen a lot of them in a lot of other things, but I mean, every actor here was believable. like you know, like usually in movies, like you'll have that one actor that kind of takes you out of the movie a little bit. That's kind of really bad, and you always have those actors in movies. But this
Mm-hmm.
this movie didn't really have that. You know?
No, no whatsoever. Even the kids were good.
Yeah, yeah. Like the
Yeah,
fight
man.
scenes are well choreographed. You know, the build up until the last fight, obviously, and then having the guy that never been defeated, and then obviously the guy that Tom Hardy beat in the gym, and just having that whole kind of drama along mixed in with the already established drama. I don't know.
And then even every fight, you think Tom Hardy, I mean, or Tommy in the movie is just going to destroy everybody, and he does. But it's like, how do you think the brother is going to go? But the brother wins by keep taking punches, right? He just and tiring the other guy out. That's usually how he wins, or making him tap out.
Yeah, because I mean, you could tell he's strong. I mean, especially with his first fight, he defeats the guy in one punch. But then
Mm-hmm.
you look at Joel Egerton's first fight, where I think the guy was called Midnight or something like that, and that fight lasted two or three rounds, I think. So like
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't like, I mean, he had to work for his wins. You know what I mean? Like Tom Hardy, I mean, pretty much the fights were over pretty quick. So I don't know. He didn't really build up his stamina. He had I don't know, I think Joel had a little bit more time to kind of build it up, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
every fight man was a struggle for for Joel.
Yeah, every fight was a struggle. I mean, like it
Mm-hmm.
did not look. I mean, all fingers were pointing that Tom Hardy was gonna beat the crap out of him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, that's not the case. I mean, and they played the last fight pretty well, and the emotion that kind of went with it, and how his arm, Tom Hardy. I forgot he had
Broke his shoulder or ripped his shoulder. Tore.
dislocated it, right? I thought.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but like, was that dislocation from a previous fight, or did it happen in this fight? I kind of forgot.
No, his brother did it right before the fourth round bell or third round bell ended.
Oh, because he gave him a chance to tap out, and he wouldn't tap out, and he.
He went to tap out.
Right, right,
Then
right,
he
right.
broke it just before the bell rang,
Yeah, yeah,
or like as the bell rang. And then Tom Hardy got up and picked him up one arm and choked him, and was gonna elbow him.
yeah. I mean, and it wasn't like either of them were pulling back. I mean, obviously Joel, he was pulling back once he knew his brother was hurt. Gave him a
Mm-hmm.
lot of chances to kind of give up. But I kind of wonder, at the end of this movie, or what actually happens. I wonder if Joel Egerton, because I think the prize was like 5 million. I wonder if he split anything with his brother, because like
Oh
his
yeah,
brother, was taking care of that military family, and that was good of
yeah.
him.
The Marine family is his other brother from the Marine Corps, man. Like got blown up in that unit, and he was sending money back. So he promised his whole 5 million purse, to that family. So I
Yeah,
like to think that they settled it and they split it.
yeah. I guess you could kind of come up with your own interpretation. I mean, I mean, obviously, I think they would have too, just kind of how the relationship ended at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was almost like seeing like two brothers, that had so much anger for each other that was misunderstood, obviously, and work
Mm-hmm.
out all of their issues in the ring, basically. I mean, it's what it amounted up to, and that's kind of what used to happen. I mean, you think of Dad and then all his stories of you know fights and like how they used to settle things back in the day. You would have a fight with somebody and not get you know quote unquote butthurt about it, and you just kind of learn from it and kind of move on, and it'll kind of give you a new persona in life, or kind of teach you a lesson for whatever lesson you needed to learn at that moment. But that shit doesn't happen anymore, I don't think. I mean,
No.
when we were in high school, it kind of did. I mean, I got jumped a couple of times. I mean, you got some fights too. You got jumped on the bus. So I mean, it happened in our lifetime when we were kids. But I don't think that happens. I don't think my son has any stories like that, or even my oldest. Like, I don't think he has. Well, I haven't talked to him in a while, but I don't think he has any fights that he went into, which is kind of nice. It's not kind of nice thing, but then it's kind of scary in a way, because like, I mean, those situations kind of taught us,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of how to survive in those type of situations. And I don't know, with today's generation, I don't know. I'm just going off tangent, but I wonder, I wonder if they can, hopefully, hold their own. But anyways,
That's
uh,
true.
so they work their differences out in the ring. Father and sons. I don't know if Joel Egerton really worked out his issues with Nick Nolte. Did it kind
I
of
think they looked at each other like, "You did it, son. You beat him, the underdog."
like
You know
he
what I
was
mean?
like he was proud? Yeah,
Is-
because that's one thing like he never really supported, and kind of displayed that a lot in the movie, where he even told Nick Nolte, I think when he went to the house, he was all like, you always supported Tommy. You always supported my
It
brother.
was,
You never.
he always supported the front runners. He never wanted the underdog.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess the
You know?
movie was kind of giving us a hint that he was kind of winning. He was going to win right there, but
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I don't know. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about you want to talk about? I can.
Ah, man. I mean, if anybody hasn't seen that movie, you need to put that on right now. Go get it on Vudu or something, because this is about healing, redemption, family. I love it. Not just an action sports drama. It has everything else in it, but that's pretty much it, little bro.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those movies where they'll kind of. I mean, if you have anything going on family wise, it'll kind of make you think. Maybe things
And that's
are too. Life's too short. I mean, that's kind of like the conclusion to hold major grudges. You know what I mean?
that's right.
But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys liked the video. If you guys liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, we'll hopefully be doing more of these. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. You have a good night.
Later.